morning.
Good morning. Here we are
Catching our breath after sunrise.
Yep. Thanks for joining us. We are talking about the weather. That's how we just wrapped up sunrise, talking about that heat. And I think that's going to be the big talker today. The fact that I heard you say 90s this morning, I was like, I feel like it's summertime when I hear 90s in the forecast.
Well, and you've been training for a marathon.
Yeah,
so that
half marathon. I got to be very specific because I am not that hardcore.
Right, but even a half marathon, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, I'm excited.
It's better than my walk from here to the drinking fountain.
No. Well, you need to take some extra trips to the drinking fountain today. No matter what your training plan is, I'm just adjusting my mic so I can actually sit down in a chair. Because you're going to need all those electrolytes with the heat in today.
Yeah, and I think that's key for everybody that is training for that marathon is, we haven't seen the lower 90s since October.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
Yeah.
And if we actually hit that lower 90 temperature today, that 91, we'll break a record set back in 1997.
What was the record?
90.
Okay, so if we hit 91,
we tie
we've broken a record.
break it if we hit 91.
Oh, man.
But, we have to get acclimated to the heat, and we're not just there yet. So if you are going to be training for the marathon, you're going to be running today. Best to get that running early or once the sun goes down tonight. Just make sure you're staying hydrated. Pay attention to your body.
Extra electrolytes.
Yes.
If you are running in the sun, it's so funny because you're sweating while you're running, but when you stop, that's when it pours. It's so weird. For some reason, when you stop, that's when it's whoosh. And it's oh, there goes all my electrolytes.
Well,
they're all gone.
I was at Houchin yesterday. I do my weekly platelet donation. So that's on Mondays. And the girls there were saying, man, today was so warm out there. And I said, yeah, we'll wait until tomorrow. And they've had to adjust their thermostats over at Houchin because of the temperatures rising. And it's also a good time of year to maybe have that AC checked before you get into the triple digits.
Yeah,
and
before you get in trouble on your first triple digit day.
So
and everybody's goes out.
If your AC's been on the edge, you might want to get that double checked before we start to really warm up.
Oh, my God.
But it's not happening just yet. Just 90s
this is
today,
just kind
then
of
we
a
cool
blip,
down for the weekend.
Because
just
we're
a blip.
Cool down.
Yeah.
So good idea to do that check. Speaking of Houchin, that's the place to be when it's hot outside. They keep it so nice and cool in there.
Yes. Yesterday, they were saying they were having a little bit of a cooling issue or whatever.
Because it's the first time.
Yeah, but I wasn't
a little warm.
I wasn't complaining because a lot of times I'm in there giving my platelets and it's 70.
Can I have a blanket?
No, I usually have to put a blanket on.
Yeah.
Yesterday was great. It's no, this, 73 in here. Perfect.
That's so funny.
And my blood doesn't flow well when it's cold. So I have a blanket on me. I have a heating pad on my arm, So yesterday was perfect.
It was kind of nicer in there. So if you need a place to cool down, your AC goes out, go visit Houchin.
Yeah.
Make a donation.
There
Blood
you go.
Or platelets, they need it all.
Win-win situation. You get a cool down place and you get to give the gift of life.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can go every week
I go every week.
get platelets?
Yep.
That's wild, because blood donation, you have to wait 6 weeks or longer?
It's 4 weeks, I believe, for blood donations.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Because I was able to give plasma yesterday. So I usually do a double platelet when I go, which is about 88 minutes. So it is a little bit of a time-consuming thing. But yesterday, I was able to get a single platelet, and then I did a plasma because I was within that window of giving plasma again.
Okay, so you can give plasma less often. How often can you give plasma?
No, I think plasma is like blood, and I think it's
4 to 6
weeks. Again, call and ask. Platelets, though, is once a week. So I go.
That's wild that you could do that once a week.
Yeah. So when I retired from baseball, I decided I was going to start doing that once a week.
So cool.
So I try to do it every Monday.
Okay, very cool. That's a great routine.
So there you go.
Houchin always is in need, so please stop by and see them.
Well, and I think while we're on this topic, blood can stay on the shelves for quite a long time when you give blood.
Oh, interesting.
Platelets, not so much. Platelets can last on the shelves 3 to 5 days.
Oh, so if they don't use them, then they're out.
They got to throw them out, and platelets are so vital for our cancer patients. That's what they use platelets for, our cancer patients. And so that's why, there's not as much on the shelves, and so that's why it's so important to go down and do the platelets.
And that's why they'll take it every week, and they have some incentives too. I mean, they always have different ones for blood donations, and there's different ones depending on.
They're going to be doing a Star Wars thing coming up soon.
Oh, fun!
In May, so
very fun. All right, so head on down to Houchin. You can just walk in. They take walk-ins, they take appointments, they take it all.
Yes, platelets, you want to go to Houchin's website, pick the location, and make an appointment for the platelets.
Okay, blood donation.
Blood donation
is kind of like you can kind of walk in and do it whenever. But platelets is a little longer process, as you're mentioning.
Yes, platelets on average for me, if I do a double, is about 88 minutes. Yesterday, doing single platelets and a plasma was right around 46 minutes.
Okay, all right. Well, let's talk about the Bakersfield Marathon.
I know, so you ready for it?
Yeah, I feel okay. We'll see how it goes on Sunday. I mean, the cool thing about doing anything is like, you can tell yourself, I've done this before. You've done this before, so you can do it again.
Right.
Like, that's kind of like your inoculation against like anxiety, I feel like, you know, is that if I've done it before, and I ran a half marathon, I'm so sorry, I've got a frog in my throat. Back in, what was it, 2018. And so I was like, okay, you've done it before, you can do it again. I've run 10 miles and 11 miles in my training, so I feel like 11 to 13 is not that big of a deal. The thing that makes me nervous is just getting there because it's going to be busy, the parking lot's going to be bananas, and so that honestly gives me more anxiety because I'm not racing to beat anybody. Like,
you're just going at your own pace.
No, but yeah, I'm not going to place. I'm not expecting. This is a Boston qualifying marathon.
Right.
I looked up times for Boston qualifying.
Yeah.
And they run the marathon in about the time that I will run the half marathon, but faster.
Right.
So I'm not trying to place. I'm not trying to impress anybody but myself.
Right. It's a personal goal.
It's just, it's fun to, I stopped running during the pandemic because all the races were getting canceled. Right. So like I'd have a race that I was like training for, and then it was canceled. And then 2021, they're like, we're bringing it back. And then that got canceled. So I just kind of stopped. And it's just fun to have something to train for.
Right.
Just because it keeps you going.
What has been the hardest part of your training, would you say?
My feet.
Your feet?
No, yeah.
But you kind of learned a lesson a little bit on the shoes, right?
Apparently you're supposed to size up, and nobody ever told me this,
and you just got your normal size.
I did.
And you lost toenails.
I lost a few. My feet are not ready for sandal weather. We are not wearing any sandals all summer.
You're saying a pedicure is needed?
No. I would never subject a pedicurist to what is happening.
I kind of want to look at her toes right now. I think we should show her toes.
That would make people throw up, I think. I wore slides the other day into the grocery store because I would just run 11 miles and my feet were so sore.
And she's walking through the store curling her toes.
I was limping, but no, Noah goes, Mom, no one wants to see your feet.
Noah! Oh my word. You're supposed to support
I know, just don't talk about it. Don't draw attention to it. Let's just get in and get out as fast as we can. It's bad.
So
it's pretty bad.
Shoes are key.
Yeah.
Well, they are your
Apparently,
feet.
you need to size up. And I did not learn this the first time I ran for some reason.
Is there a reason?
Because your feet swell.
Oh.
After running like 8 plus miles, like your feet are going to swell, which makes total sense. And I think last time I didn't run as much. I ran like once a week to train. And so maybe that's why it didn't really bother me as much the first time I did it. This time I'm like doing 3 times a week at least.
Right.
And so I think my feet are just taking a little more punishment.
Are they sore now, or are they good for the weekend?
They'll be okay.
Yeah.
I think I'll be okay on Sunday. I'll just have to decide if I want to wear the new shoes I got that are literally brand new and the size I should be wearing, apparently, or my old ones that I've trained in that feel really good, besides the fact that they're kind of tight after a couple of miles.
Right. Yeah.
So.
I don't know.
You learn new things all the time.
No, I think it's important because there may be people out there that maybe didn't do it this year, but maybe thinking about it next year. And I think it's cool to hear from somebody who's been training, who's learns the ups, the downs, the yays, the nays. It's important.
Yeah. Always get
good
gear and size up your shoes. But yeah, so here's all the information, by the way. 5 days out from the Bakersfield Marathon. Some 4,000 runners are going to be in attendance. And we're actually going to be bringing you the marathon live. First here on KGET, Channel 17, from 7 to 8. And then here on our website, kget.com, from 8 until noon.
Wow.
I know. So they're going to go all morning long. Anthony and Alex are going to be anchoring on set. Well, on set out there.
Out there.
And then I think Elena's going to go out there. Jenny Ha is going to be out there as well. And yeah, so it's going to be fun. They did talk about potentially having me wear something.
Yeah,
like,
I brought
while
that
I'm
up.
running.
I brought that up this morning, but they were thinking about a GoPro. I don't know how they're.
I don't know what
how
the
they're going
plan
to do
was.
it.
I have
but
not been in the planning.
We do have the technology one way or the other to broadcast you live throughout the race. Which
Would I
think
just
would be-
use like my phone instead on TVU and like just
That's the way I was thinking it, but then again, you said they were thinking about a GoPro, and I don't
Yeah.
know how you.
maybe they
use
have
a-
like a Wi-Fi GoPro with an app on it?
Would not. I don't know. Is
that a thing?
Not with our program. You
Oh,
me,
okay.
I'm Mr. Tech Guy. But then again, maybe something I.
Maybe
haven't-
there's a different program or
Yeah,
something
so
like
we're
that.
going to find out, but possibly, Maddie, maybe giving you a live peek at running
Now I'm
a
not
half.
going to be talking to you at all.
Not at all. So don't think she's being
I'm
rude.
in the zone.
She's going to be
You will
zoned
not
and
see my face, my sweaty face.
afterwards you will.
You'll just see where I'm going.
And you're going to hear a lot of huffing and puffing.
Oh yeah, I'm a loud breather when I'm running. And
you
every
will
now
hear.
and then I'll start singing along with my music just for a chorus or two to like pump myself up.
There you go.
But so here's the information. If you still want to sign up, full, half marathon, those are both full, but the 6K and the 10K still have space. There's also a virtual runner walk. And you can use our code KGET17 to get 17% off of the registration price if you still want to do that. So there is still time to join us. And it is so fun. Even if you're not running, this is a cool community event. I've only been out there the once, but it was just so fun seeing people cheering you on and showing that like city pride, and they've got signs, and then they also have like a festival and food area that opens at 8 in the morning.
Yeah.
So there's stuff to do even if you're not running.
And even some of the locals, I know my friend Natalie Green, she has a home in town, downtown, and they're doing
Westchester
a big
area.
Westchester area.
They're
They're going to have
always-
signs and a big old, thing for all the runners
Oh
coming
yeah,
by.
it's so cool.
It's really cool.
They're always in the spirit down there.
Yes. And I think you don't see that in some other communities where you have these marathons. So I think that's why these runners really like to come to the Bakersfield Marathon, because they feel like they're really supported.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to think the half and the full sold out, I would have
Sold
thought
out, right?
the other ones maybe.
The
you know what I
lower
mean?
ones.
Yeah, but we've got people coming from all around to be a part of this, which is really cool.
That's really, really cool. So yeah, it all kicks off this Sunday at 7 a.m. By the way, Saturday, if you are running, that's when you can pick up your bib at the Kern County Museum. And you can come on out. Again, even if you're not running, they have a health and wellness fair going on from 10 to 4. There will also be some food trucks and some merchandise. And then, this is adorable, there is a diaper dash and a 1K fun run on Saturday. You could do the 1K fun run. I'm just teasing this
could.
for kids.
Or the diaper dash.
So our assistant news director, Erica, was talking about her daughter, Gigi, maybe
Yeah.
doing the diaper dash.
Oh, she should, for sure.
Isn't that adorable?
That would be cute.
So that's kids 5 and under, and it's a quarter mile. And then kids 12 and under can do the 1K fun run. And that's happening Saturday, and there's still room for either of those. So there's a little QR code on your screen right now, or you can go to runsignup.com. My mom and sister they do a 0.5K every year. So imagine they're doing a 1K for the diaper
Right.
dash. They have a 0.5K.
0.5K.
It's just like a joke, but
Right.
they do it every year, and it's a fun festival. And my mom, I think, ran it in high heels, dressed up like Breakfast for Tiffany's
gosh.
or something like
I
that
could see your
last
mom
year.
doing that too.
Yeah. So there's that going on. So much fun stuff this weekend. But by the way, again, even if you're not involved in any of it, there's going to be road closures.
Yeah,
going on.
I'm no longer at the ballpark, but I helped them a little
Mm.
bit with that because I said, hey, Saturday games be okay, a little busy around that area.
Yeah, it will be.
Sundays games are going to have to be much later.
Do they have games on Sunday?
They do. They have a travel ball league, so they're working around that.
Oh, yeah.
By
That'd be a
afternoon,
mess.
yeah. So they've been working with all the folks at the marathon because it's
Okay.
all kind of around Samlin Ballpark, and that's where Northwest Baseball
Mm-hmm.
is. So Saturday, a little busy, but Sunday they've had to rearrange some things.
Well, the finish line closes at 2, so
Yeah.
by
So
the afternoon,
I think
things
their
should be cleared
travel teams will be afternoon games. Main league is on Saturday, so if you are part of Northwest Baseball and Saturday games are still good, it's just going to be a little busy around Sam Lynn, the museum. So just watch your speeds, take your time
Yeah.
getting into the park.
If you
Very
have to go
important.
anywhere Sunday morning, you just
Yeah.
be aware, like you could run into a road closure because this is not just that area, like it's all over town.
Oh, yeah. all over town. So just if you're
They're
not part of the marathon, you don't have to be downtown. Probably best not to come downtown. Give them the space they need.
Yeah, because you're going to run into a lot of street closures
Yep.
and stuff. So yeah. By the way, something cool happening tomorrow. You're going to be out live. Do you know that yet?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
Surprise.
Surprise. Yeah, Jersey Mike's Day of Giving to support the Ronald McDonald House. There's so many things happening around Kern County with this. But yeah, I'll be at the Hageman location, I believe.
Okay, and it's their Day of Giving, so 100% of their day's sales at Jersey Mike's will go to the Bakersfield Ronald McDonald House. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Jersey Mike's does a lot of really cool philanthropic things.
They do. Yeah, Scarlett Sabin, who's the director of the Ronald McDonald House, she came in last week, I think it was, and said, Kevin, you're coming out Wednesday morning.
Oh, okay.
And our
Get a sandwich for breakfast.
Assistant News Director Erica said, yes, good idea. So we'll be out there. So come out and support. I think it's all their locations that are part of this. So I'm just going to be at the Hageman location in the morning. But they work so hard to get everything ready for this event.
Oh yeah, there'll be some of them in their stores at 4 in the morning, baking and making and all that good stuff. But last year they raised Jersey Mike's nationwide, $25 million.
That's awesome.
I know. So cool. So hopefully they'll surpass that this year. So tomorrow is the day if you want to get a sandwich and all your money go back to the Ronald McDonald House. Our local one. Yeah, it stays local. I think that's super cool.
And the key thing is, if you don't know much about the Ronald McDonald House, so over at Bakersfield Memorial Hospital, such a key place for families when they have to be here in town, getting the care for a family member. And, hotels are expensive. And the Ronald McDonald House really absorbs that cost.
I love that. That's so cool.
Yes.
I've had family members who've had to stay in them down in like LA area. And so, yeah, it's a really cool thing to be able to support the fact that we have our own Ronald McDonald House here in Bakersfield.
Yeah. So support that tomorrow.
Okay. Well, what else is going on in your neck of the woods?
Well, my animals.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a nerd. Everybody knows I love animals.
An animal
we
nerd.
love animals at my house. I have a desert tortoise. I have a bearded dragon. I have 2 dogs. Well, recently we noticed...
what do you have, Kevin?
Well, recently we noticed a little bit of activity around the house, and so I installed a camera. We call it the Critter Cam. That's based off another YouTube channel we actually follow back in the East Coast called Critter Cam.
Oh, okay.
And they have possums, they have raccoons, they have all types of animals that come up and they feed. So we thought we would try that. And Adam, I'm not sure if my weather computer is actually on that right now. If not, I'll backtrack. Okay, so here you go. This is our
video from...
This is video from last night. And we don't have names for these 2 yet, but they've been coming around a lot lately. And there's our little plate. We put they love peanut butter, grapes.
Who doesn't love peanut butter?
They love peanut butter, grapes. We've got some cat food there because the other critters that come love the cat food.
Okay.
So this is the 2 raccoons that have been coming
and
nightly.
it's always these 2 raccoons,
Yes.
like the same 2.
I think so. It makes sense.
And they
I'm
come
going to have to look for markings. Yeah, the other one kind of ran off. And then we have Peyton, the possum. This is Peyton. She comes every night, and she's a little upset probably because she's looking around going, where's my normal food?
Yeah, it looks empty.
The raccoons wiped it out before Peyton could get there. See,
Peyton.
then Peyton's
Oh,
must have heard
bye-bye,
something.
Peyton.
And then we've got
Oh
Beavis.
my gosh. Wait, is this all the same night?
Yes, they come every night. This is Beavis.
The skunk?
Our skunk, and he's also not real happy.
Our skunk? Are you keeping him?
Well, no, we don't interact with them.
Oh,
We
okay.
keep him nature,
Okay.
to its own. We don't go out there and try to pet him, anything like that. We just,
I would not pet him.
everybody,
Nope.
everybody
hello.
always got a little twig
Hello,
on his
Beavis.
butt. But they need to eat, and so we just decided to do this. It's kind of our fun little thing. But yeah, we don't go out. Even if we were to see them on camera, we wouldn't go out and interact with them, because they are nature, and so here we go. Look, they come together.
Oh, there's
See,
the 2
they come on. Look how much food was on the plate.
Man, they
and look
ate it
at
all.
They love grapes.
Oh yeah, look at how they eat. They pick it up.
it's
They
so
don't put their face
fascinating.
in. They take it and they take their hands and put their hand.
And I
That's
didn't
so
really
crazy.
realize, because I live out Stockdale and Heath, didn't even realize we even had raccoons out that direction, to be honest
okay.
with you. But again, we got inspired by watching this Critter Cam back east.
How fun.
And they have raccoons, they have possums,
Just
they have...
the way they use their hands
sugar
is
gliders.
wild.
Oh, right? So it gives you a perspective of wildlife.
That is so crazy just to see the way they use their hands.
Yeah. And like I said, they weren't real happy to find out that they had eating all the food.
That little Peyton.
Yeah, Beavis wasn't
Was
too
not
happy.
happy, and Beavis wasn't happy. Yeah.
And either was Peyton. So anyway, just want to share that.
Super fun.
If you're an animal lover like we are.
Peyton the opossum.
Yep, opossum. And then,
They're kind of blind, aren't they?
They are very blind. Yeah, they can't see. Their vision is awful, but they have great sense of smell.
Okay.
So yeah.
Is it dark here?
It is dark. This
It's
is
dark.
the middle of the night. This
It's
is
just-
right. Well, you can see the clock.
It looks so light.
That was
That's
at
so weird.
4:42 this morning.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So then I'll go.
Is there a light
This was,
on it?
No, this is just a
It's in
Wise
the dark.
cam. This is a Wise cam, and I have lights on my gutters around my house, accent lights. So the accent lights give it enough light, but
It looks so bright.
Right?
It looks like daytime.
Yeah. No, great camera. And that one was right around 4 o'clock this morning. They came.
The skunk looks little.
I know he's a little
That's
guy.
funny. I wonder if that's like a young skunk.
Maybe.
We get little, I don't know if it's been a year or two maybe since I've seen them, but we get like a family of skunks that like to live in the field next to our house. And so one time I saw like a whole line, like mama skunk,
Yeah.
and then like 6 baby skunks, like down this little path that runs like right along our fence line next to us. And they're just so cute. These little balls of black and white fluff. Oh my gosh. Their little tails just sticking up. Just like little balls of fur. They're so stinking cute. That's the key word,
Well,
right? Stinking cute.
I have a friend in town that she gets calls. She actually rescues skunks, possums, raccoons, and she gets calls when they get hurt. And so I was able to go to her house one time, and she rescued a skunk like 10 years ago, had it de-skunked or defumed or whatever, and went over there, and I got to hold this little skunk. And he's so cute. They're so fluffy.
They're very fluffy.
So fluffy.
They're so cute.
And so much character to them.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. He was actually watching him running around the house. It was so cute.
What's his name?
I don't know his name.
It's not Pepe Le Pew.
No.
remember him?
And then she had a possum that was hurt, and she was nurturing it back to health. And it so like cute and cuddly. And
That is so crazy.
And
The
then she's got
possum was cuddly?
Yes.
You
yeah,
don't
possums are so
hear of that.
Yeah.
Like usually you hear they're more like they hiss, right? And,
when they feel threatened.
okay,
you know
but
what
they
I
can
mean?
be cute. And
Yeah, but again,
Don't
these
go
were-
and try and pet a
no.
possum.
Don't go try to pet a possum.
Please don't
raccoon,
take
none of
that. Or a skunk.
Again, she knows what she's doing. She's rescuing
Yeah,
these animals for
exactly.
years. And then she has a family of raccoons that are in the back. They can't be released because they were hurt. She doesn't really interact. She feeds them. They're not more interact.
They're
type,
not, yeah.
because they've already been programmed when they were little. A lot of these ones she gets are babies.
wild. Okay.
So they're not imprinted yet. And so the raccoons, though, she got them a little later after being hurt, and they were already imprinted. So once they're imprinted by mom, that were like
Got it.
the enemy almost, then they're not as friendly. But babies haven't been imprinted just yet, so you're able to nurture them a little bit
Interesting.
more.
That's why in Jurassic Park he likes to be there for the birth of every little creature
Right.
on this island. Sorry, I just watched that recently. With the boys.
Yeah. So that's kind of my little farm at the house.
Oh, that's so cool. How fun. So cute. You know, speaking of raccoons, you know the name of my son's baseball team?
No.
They're the Trash Pandas.
The Trash Pandas. Trash Pandas, that's great.
Apparently it's a minor league baseball team, the Trash Pandas.
Oh.
But it's also, that's a word that people use for raccoons.
Did they play the
means
Bananas?
Raccoons. No, they don't play the Savannah Bananas. They're not
okay.
a exhibition league. It's just a minor league,
okay.
like baseball team.
So what's on their shirts? Does it say?
It's a raccoon, and it says Trash Pandas.
Love it.
Trash Panda, and it has like a little raccoon.
By the way, last night was game 1.
It was.
How was it?
It was so good. First of all, best part for the parents watching, it was the best weather I've
Right.
ever had for the first game of the season.
You didn't need a blanket?
Didn't need a blanket, didn't need snow jacket and clothes and boots because we've been out there before.
When it's snowing.
In tears, we have but frozen tears.
Yeah.
Please let us go home. Please don't make these poor kids play. But yeah, it was gorgeous. It was so beautiful out there at the baseball fields. And it was Eli's game, and his team is the Padres, much to his chagrin, right? Because he is the biggest
He was
little
hoping to get
Dodger
drafted on
fan
the
that
Dodger
you've ever
team,
heard
huh?
of. But it was such a good game. He got a hit every time he got up.
Good for him.
He got on base the first 2 times. The second time he drove in a run and got out at first.
Nothing wrong with that.
So yeah.
RBIs are just good.
And then he
Now I
played
have to
catcher.
ask, when he hit that ball and he got out at first, was he mad?
No.
Because he realizes what he did.
Yeah, he drove it
So
around.
many kids,
So,
when
yeah.
I was coaching, they would get an RBI, they'd get out at first, runner would come in, and they would be like crying. I'm like, what are you crying about? You just got
You
your
just got
team
us
a
a
run.
run.
This is what baseball is
Yeah.
about. You just hit in a run. Who cares if you got out at first?
And I think because he really, studies the game.
He knows baseball.
Yeah, he does. He watches so much, like so much, and he studies it and he reads about it and stuff. So he does understand that, and he's been playing for a while.
Did
But
he
for
get any pitching in?
No, he's catching right now.
Oh, he's catching.
Yeah, he's catching. He would like to pitch, I think, later on in the season, but we'll see if he does or not. He's good at catcher.
Yep.
He's good at catcher. He played third base one inning, but it was just fun. I just love watching kids get
At that
passionate
age.
about sports.
Yep.
Like, it's just fun. Win or lose, like, I don't care.
And the key to it all is coaching. And
Yeah, good coaches are.
But it doesn't even, I
gold.
emphasize, doesn't even have to be good.
It's
Just
not
a
about.
nurturing
Yeah,
skill.
exactly. Encouraging.
Because so many coaches in every league, probably your league too, but at Northwest, we always struggle to find coaches in the league. We get tons of kids, but the coaches are slim to none nowadays.
hard.
It wasn't like that when I first started the league back in 2006. But now it seems like parents are scared. And I always tell parents, you don't have to know a thing about baseball.
Really?
Well, I mean, nowadays, no. Not when you have 1,000 kids in a league or 800, it's hard to
just
find that
need
many
bodies.
coaches. Not like a youth baseball league is going to hire coaches with skill level.
No.
So, most of the leagues, and I know Northwest, their new president, Stan Thompson, out there, will hold clinics to teach parents
cool.
the basics of coaching. So I know it's a scary thing, but
It is.
But it's so important to be a part of that, your kids' lives or other kids' lives, and
And
give
it
them a
would
chance.
not happen
Nope.
if we don't, if people don't volunteer to be coaches. It
most
absolutely
definitely.
can't
Yeah.
happen. Like these are all volunteers. So
Don't be scared to coach. Get right in there. Get a little bit of an instruction, but just be that nurturing coach. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Remember, it's not the World Series. Most of these kids are not going to Major League Baseball. Let them have fun and let them want to come back every year, because I have seen it in the past. Coaches ruin it for a kid and they
hate that.
don't want to come back. Yes.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
Yes.
Because most of the time you're still bottled up with everything that happened during the game. You look around, where are the kids? They're outside playing with each other,
fun.
going to the snack bar. It's usually the parents, the coaches that ruin it for the kid.
yeah, no, let them have fun. The things that they're going to learn, it's great if they learn the game. I want them to
Yes.
learn teamwork. I want them
Yes.
to learn supporting one another. I want them to learn how to lose gracefully. Like, it's the lessons that come with it that aren't
Yes.
necessarily learning the sport that
Right.
mean the most.
No, and a lot of these kids can do a lot of learning on their own, like your kids.
Yeah.
He does a lot of learning on his own. I think a lot of these coaches get some instruction. I know they do at Northwest, to be able to pass that on to the kids. But you're not going to get a Major League Baseball coach showing these kids all these trick moves and everything.
Right.
That's not what youth baseball is about.
No, yeah, you definitely want to learn the game for
Yes.
sure. And like if you
Basics.
have a kid like who wants to play, have them watch.
Right.
Have them watch the major league games. Like
Yeah.
they do definitely learn from that.
Yep.
I mean, I know that from Eli's experience.
Well, like your kid, and I always used to tell my kids, learning doesn't stop right here at the baseball
Right.
park. What you put into it is what you get out of it. So
Mm-hmm.
when we leave here, you're throwing that ball in the backyard. You're throwing it up playing catch. You're, doing stuff outside. You're not leaving the baseball park and getting on your video games.
Yeah.
You're not going to become a good baseball player that way.
No.
Nope.
Yeah, even if you're playing a baseball video game.
Yeah, that's
the mechanics are not the same.
not the same. So anyway.
Yeah, I mean, really, that's everything that you do. Like,
Yep.
I tried to get Noah to take piano lessons once, and he loved the lessons, didn't want to practice when he was home. Like, wanted to go, wanted me to pay for it, but you're supposed to be
Right.
practicing at
And
home
it-
if you're not going to do that.
And his progression level went
Yeah,
nowhere.
you're not gonna see the fruits of that. So
Yeah.
but it's funny because I was just not a sports kid at all. The more my parents tried to get me to play sports, the more I resisted. And now I'm just like, there's so much value in it. It's
Yes.
crazy.
It teaches them a lot of things.
It does. I love it.
The video games teach them nothing.
Yeah, there are a few benefits when it comes to video games. It's different than social media. It can activate that part of your brain that, like, especially for boys, that is like team building because they can play with others. So, like, I'm not saying there's zero benefits. We do not have any video games. Like,
Right.
I'm not a video game person.
Right.
And I say you don't need another reason to be on a screen.
Right.
We have television and you watch enough of that you don't need any other devices to add to the time that you're on a screen.
Right. I
But
get
yeah,
kids, though, they go to the baseball park and they're ready for practice to be over so they can get home and play video games.
you're going to get so much more just being outside, being bored with your friends. Like, I make the other kids come, and they're just running around that park for 2-3 hours while their brother's playing. Like, watch, cheer them on, or go play with your friends. You're going to get so much more out of that.
That's how it was when I was a kid. We were always outside playing because we didn't have video games back then, really.
Let's get off the screen. Head outside.
All right.
It's a great day to get outside. Just be careful in the heat, everybody.
Yeah, make sure you're staying hydrated. And again, if you have to work out, just take those freaking breaks. But we'll cool down for the weekend. So something to look forward to.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye.